破常识，蚕食鲸吞。距今1700年后的未来，地球成了掠夺者大城市侵略手无寸铁小城市的世界。这是畅销小说《移动城市》的情节，更是大导演彼得·杰克森继《魔戒》《哈比人》后再度打造的奇幻世界。原本从2008年就着手开始翻拍，却因为《哈比人》的拍片计划搁置，到了2014年，眼见再不拍，小说版权就要到期，彼得找来老搭档兼徒弟，曾凭《金刚》获得奥斯卡最佳视觉特效的克里斯汀·李维斯，扛下导演的重责大任。
It must not be the easiest decision to pass the director chair to others. So, how did you tell Christian about this offer?
Well, Christian had done a lot of second unit directing on the Hobbit films. You know, directed some big scenes like when the dwarves escaped down the river in barrels in the second Hobbit movie was something that he pretty much shot that and some other scenes. And so I thought, you know, and he's someone that has worked with us for 25 years, and he was ready to make his first feature film. You know, he was definitely wanted, you know, he was all set to go, and I just wanted to be part of helping him make his first film. And so when we finished The Hobbit, we'd already had the rights to this book. You know, we had the rights to this book for nearly 10 years, and this was what we were going to do straight after The Hobbit. And I just thought, well, this is a perfect film for Christian, and we phoned him up.
Did he tell you over a dinner or just phone you?
He phoned me. Yeah, he just. I was going into work, driving into work one day, and I get a phone call from his assistant going, "Oh, Peter wants to talk to you. Have you got 30 seconds?" And I said yes, and he said, "Hey, we're running out of time with the rights on Mortal Engines, so we sort of need to make it. Would you like to direct it?"
So what was your first reaction like? You say yes right away, or just?
I went, oh, okay. This sort of fear, adrenaline started hitting me. Of just, you know, if I was going to say yes, suddenly what that would mean. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fear, a lot of nervousness, but yes, I said yes after about 10 seconds.
He was ready to direct a film, and I didn't want him to go and direct a film for somebody else. I wanted to be part of it to help him. So yeah.
And action.
So what was the first thing you did after he told you that?
Well, I met up with him, and there'd been some design work that had been done on the film, but I sort of met up with him and Fran to talk about the film, like where we should take it. You know, like from a design perspective, and had to read the script and where the script was at. They'd been doing some work on the script, so I needed to read the screenplay, and then start trying to shape the film into the vision that the film needed to be. Because I didn't have a vision. It wasn't like when he asked me and I said, "Oh yes, okay, I've got it all planned out." You know, I had really no idea where. We just had to start the long journey of working on the designs for the film.
So how was your working process like? How did you divide the work between?
When we came to write the script?
Yes.
Yeah, it's we've kind of got into a rhythm now. We've written a few, and it's nice actually. It's I really enjoy it. Even though you can feel the pressure of trying to make the script work always, but we kind of trust the process now, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, there's three of us that write the script,
yes.
and we were writing it, and as we were writing the script, we'd obviously Christian, we'd have meetings with Christian, who would also we'd show him what we were writing, and he'd be able to comment on things that we were doing, because he was the director, he had thoughts and ideas about things that he wanted to have in the film, making sure that when we adapted it from the book, that we didn't lose the things that he liked as well. So we sort of, he was definitely consulted all the way through the writing part. And in terms of the shooting of the movie, I just let him do his thing. As a director, you've always got to leave a director alone to make the film. And so he was getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to set, and I was able to stay in bed. It was a rather nice way to do it, actually. It was really good.
So did you go to the set a lot?
I mean, he was on set shooting the movie. I would look at the footage. I would look at the rushes that he did, like the day before, what he shot the day before, and if there was anything that I was I saw or any ideas or thoughts that I had, I'd let him know. But I I mean, I've being a director myself, I know what I know how you want a producer to behave, and you don't want somebody sitting over your shoulder the whole time. And I wouldn't want that, and I know that he wouldn't want that. And you've got to ultimately trust him to make his film. So.
He was very open to the process. He's very collaborative, So he was, which is I think what makes him a great director, is that he, if he would put up his hand if he needed help and say, hey, I'm not sure 100% about the direction this is going in or things like that. And he worked quite closely with Fran Walsh, who we work with as well. Certain things like, especially music, the score. He was incredibly open, which is always a great sign.
Because we do. I mean, the directing on the set is one thing, but all the pre-production, post-production, we are a team, and so he was. But he's also, he's worked for us for 25 years doing storyboarding and various things, so he knows exactly how we work, and so he was able to. It wasn't hard at all. It was, he's always been part of our team. We just happened to have a different. He was wearing a different hat this time.
So which part is the most challenging?
Cities. The cities is the scale of the cities, how large they are, and how to make them feel like living cities that also have all these mechanics and actually work like as a giant vehicle. The scale of the physics of the world, and then also trying to make it exciting and fast and powerful. The aspects of the design, the look of the world, and also the movement of the world were the most challenging aspects of it.
幕后有金奖团队，还有纽西兰超过上千名巧夺天工的巧手加持，目前卡斯更为重要。同样从魔戒就和彼得·杰克森成为战友的雨果·威明，这次出任大反派。
What happens when you find Hester Shaw?
而在《阿凡达》暂时停止呼吸中，让人吓到魂飞魄散的史蒂芬·朗，则是挑战一个完全没露相，却更挑战演技的电脑动画人物 Shrike。
He's here.
So did you actually meet while shooting or just?
We did meet, absolutely. Yeah, we had our scene together, and it was great.
Unfortunately,
it was actually
just
wonderful.
the one scene.
Yeah, just one, but it was wonderful to meet Stephen.
Yeah.
We talked about it only. He looked amusing in his grey, in his capture suit.
Yeah.
And we talked about the scene, and then we rehearsed it, and it was great. And then of course we got in there, and of course we actually weren't looking at each other, and it had been decided that I was looking through this box at this sort of weird head, and Stephen would be somewhere else, and so we then had to adjust to the fact that we weren't really doing a scene together, but we were, and it actually worked beautifully.
Sure.
I was looking into this thing, sort of imagining this creature, because I wouldn't have seen Shrike anyway. I would have seen Stephen, but they had his voice
in your ear. I think,
it was coming right at me. So the voice was coming out of the darkness, and it was fantastic. So so we got to work together, but for not for long enough, really.
No, but maybe we'll work together in the future. But it was great for me. I was so thrilled. I truly was really thrilled when I heard that Hugo was doing Thaddeus Valentine. So yeah, we were fortunate.
有硬底子演员带头，新生代挑大梁也毫不逊色，包括来自冰岛的女主角赫拉希尔玛，杀气腾腾、不苟言笑的韩国摇滚歌手智海，来自爱尔兰的男主角罗伯·希汉，以及第一次登上大荧幕，平时还在餐厅打工的雷拉·乔治，都对第一次印象深刻。
We heard, Tara, your audition tape was very strong. What was on it?
Oh, I mean, I don't know, really. They never really told me. I think I just hit something that they were looking for. Yeah, I mean,
Did you shout
just
yourself?
Huh?
Did you shout yourself, or someone else did it for you?
Oh yeah, I filmed it at home. With my boyfriend, and and I just, I wasn't able to read the book before or the script, so I had to kind of find anything I could find online about the character, and then I just, you make a choice, and you have like 2 scenes, and then you just send it out there, and sometimes it's something that the people are looking for that I make a movie, and in this case it was.
So what was your first reaction when you know you got a part?
I was like, did I work for this? I mean, how did I? Because I Skyped for them, and they were kind of just telling me about the story and like the character,
and we were talking about sheep in Iceland and New Zealand. Yeah, well, that was Peter Jackson's input into that, and so it was actually more like getting to know each other a little bit, and then it came from it being like, wait, should I have done something? And then, you know, and then suddenly I had the offer, and yeah, I don't know, it happened, it was just great.
This is your first big Hollywood experience, and Lala said the first moment that you really scared is when you arrived in New Zealand and they took you to the tour of the studio. What else moment do you scare or frighten?
Well, I was very fearful to be in the proximity of Hugo Weaving's charisma.
They run the place. Tell me about it.
Because he's just a big powerhouse of... and so, and I'm such a big fan of his for many, many years. So there's a little voice of terror in the back of one's mind that you have to go, quiet now, we don't need you now, be quiet, when you're doing a scene with such acting royalty. So that was a kind of fearful moment, but mostly very exciting.
So what was the first thing you did after you got the job?
I don't know, start worrying about like how I'm gonna do it now, and you know.
I started taking sword classes.
Okay, that's better.
Sword fighting classes,
Wow.
because I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And martial arts I was lucky enough to have done, and I was doing it already, so that was good. But I'd never dealt with a sword, so I did that.
We know that you train with a 8-time Taekwondo
Champion,
trainer.
yeah.
Yes. How painful was it for the training?
It wasn't easy. I'll say that. It was difficult, and it was physically draining, and I pulled some muscles and pulled a ligament. It was tough, but it was so much fun that I didn't care at all.
I'm not that subtle.
I must know how to fight like hell, but without losing your sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
You get them specially made.
They're specially made where they like stick to the behind of your ear, and it doesn't fall out.
You both got a lot of action scenes, fight scenes. Which one is the most difficult or challenging, or took you most time to shoot?
For me, it was a scene, without just not spoiling anything, on top of an airship with another person, and it took 3 days to film that. And you know, Hester is not some like elegant fighter. She is just an emotional rage ball or something. So it was just a lot of explosive energy, and also a very emotionally hard scene. So yeah, it left me a little bit bruised and swollen, and also completely drained. But you know, it was worth it. I hope.
Yeah, for me, I had 2 really challenging scenes, and the first one was, I guess it felt a little bit more because it was very beginning of the shooting days for me, and it was Peter Jackson was on second unit and directing, and he had a lot of new ideas on the fly, and so I had to quickly take that all in and really wanted to do it well. So you know, it was like riding a unicycle and trying to coordinate in my brain how to do all of this 12 different directions in one go. But it worked out. It worked out beautifully.
I heard that you hit a double while you're doing some new choreography. Was that the only day you hit someone, or?
Well, I think you might be talking about this fight scene that was really full on, and I really wanted to do one move, which was to really beat someone, like on the back. And there was a double for another actor, and they were like, Hera, just go for it more and more. And I was like, are you padded enough? Because like, I'm really going. They were like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it more. No, if I hurt anyone, I hurt myself doing that. That was, my hand was all swollen after it. But no, it was all good. But yeah, that was the moment where I hurt myself. And
But these guys
but
are
he said it was
hilarious.
fine. He wanted it, he asked for it.
You know, every time I would kick someone, I'd go down and be like,
Yeah.
and they're like, harder, stronger, don't worry about it.
They live for it.
They live for it. They're like, yeah, kick me
yeah.
for real. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
I felt so bad every time.
Of course.
Yeah.